Now I would like to talk about how to digitalize micro and small businesses through the e-platform solutions. This is me, when I was in the Alibaba, the forums, at that time I was served as Alibaba external advisors to Alibaba Taiwan. During my as a consultant to Alibaba a few years ago, I understand some of very interesting role played by Alibaba groups to help the local small and medium-sized enterprises. Now I would like to introduce a little bit. Sometimes the small and medium-sized enterprises, they have difficulties to access to the market space, because their distribution channel is very limited, particularly those in the remote area. They have difficulties. They have to go through some intermediate firms. Sometimes they are very easy to be exploited. But once Alibaba there, Alibaba enables those small and micro firms the access to the unlimited market space. They can open to the whole China or even to the whole world. And all the world buyers can get access through Alibaba e-platforms and then to the small businesses in this remote area. And also, as I just mentioned, that the small and medium-sized firms, if you like to digitalize transformations, they have the required investments in the hardware and the software. But the Alibaba, because it is a platform economy, so actually they already provide you the necessary software and the hardware investments. Their investments are already there, so you can just utilize what they have just invested. So they can help the small and medium-sized firms without initial investments in the software and the hardware. And Alibaba also provide the cloud computing. What is the cloud computing? Being a business scholars, sometimes when I go to help some small medium-sized enterprises, sometimes I feel the owners or the shoppers or the small business owner, they don't have the accurate accounting idea. So sometimes they don't have the accuracy accounting principles to think about their profits. So therefore, Alibaba help the SMEs to give them monthly reporting. They give them monthly summarizations about their operations and also give them some suggestions through the cloud computing. They give you some advice, say, this month actually you are in deficits, even though you have some profits. But in contrast to the expenses and the cost, actually you are in profit losses. That kind of the accounting principle, sometimes the small and medium-sized enterprise owner, they don't have. And also, in order to help them to go onto the platforms, the Alibaba provide a lot of the free training courses for the owners and for the operators, help the small and medium-sized enterprises staff to be able to work with Alibaba platforms. So they provide a lot of the training courses even in Taiwan. Alibaba also trained with a lot of the Taiwan universities. We train designers to the business operators, to the IT engineer, etc. Alibaba train those staff for their e-platform users. So this is something quite interesting. They provide free training courses for the small medium-sized enterprises. And also they provide the secured transactions. As we know, the third-party transactions is a necessity for the e-transactions. Because in the e-transactions, nobody knows each other's. So it makes the transaction extremely dangerous. Particularly China is a very big country. In the past, in China, they have the two difficulties. One, the buyer will doubt is the goods I buy is the authentic goods or a fake goods. Okay, authentic or fake. Okay, and for the sellers, they are very worried. If I deliver the goods to the customers, can I get my money back or not? Can I get my monies? Okay, so the third-party transactions actually give both sides a secure transaction environment. It's similar to the PayPal in the West. And in China, Alibaba provide the so-called 支付宝 to secure transactions for the both sides, the sellers and the buyers. You know that sometimes the small and medium-sized enterprises, they are very vulnerable when they facing the much stronger buyers. The stronger buyers, they buy from the small medium-sized enterprises, but they may not deliver their cash or monies to the small medium-sized enterprises in time. It will worsen the financial situations about the SMEs, okay, in China. Okay, but the secure transactions actually help to sort it out the problems. Okay, and also Alibaba also do something. Okay, because he see there is a need for a lot of the SMEs to have transactions over its platforms. And so therefore, they have some need for extra money, for the extra financing in the transaction. So Alibaba then, he also become a financing companies. They have another subsidiary in doing the financings. Okay, that is the armed financing. Okay, recently there is some trouble for the armed financings to become a listed firms, IPO in the United States, okay, because it is something related to is the armed banking and financing institutions, or it is a high-tech companies, okay. So by nature, there is some controversial issues there, okay. So financing, Alibaba also do financing to help the SME once they have the monetary demands. Okay, so they can financing for each side, SME and the buyers for both sides. Okay. The particular very interesting case is about the investment banking. A lot of banks in Indonesia and in Taiwan, we also do investment banking. Investment banking is that we have the monies, we have the angel funds. We are looking for some small, medium-sized company with potential. So therefore, we can invest the monies for those companies at a very initial stage. Once it becomes a very successful company, and then we can harvest our initial investments in these companies. Okay. Alibaba has advantages, as I just mentioned. Alibaba, there is no information asymmetric problems. There is no information asymmetric problems for Alibaba, right? So Alibaba can assess very accurately to the small firms. Okay, once they are already in their platform, he can accurately diagnostics about the firms, about its potential future growth trends. Okay, so they also have a cloud computing to calculate each the players in their platforms. Okay, once they found some small, medium-sized enterprises with great potentials, okay, Alibaba also can invest the monies in these small SMEs, okay, because they have the growth potential for the future. So in that term, in that means, Alibaba is also doing investment banking businesses as well. Okay, Alibaba is also finally doing the accrediting SMEs. Okay, if the SME they are in the platform for long, Alibaba give every players a credit score, particularly for the SMEs. Okay, every SME they have their credit score. Even you are a buyer, you have a credit score in Alibaba as well. Okay, so once I have a credit score, I fulfill faithfully for my every transactions I don't have any delay or I don't have any problems, okay, in our transactions, then my credit score accumulated, okay. So once if you have a good crediting score, you don't have any crediting problems, okay. Other buyers, they are more easily and more happier to have the transactions with the companies with a high crediting score SMEs, okay. So from my viewpoint, Alibaba are doing a lot of things to help SME, okay, as I said it, right? Okay, he helped SME to have an unlimited market space, help to overcome digitalizations, and provide cloud computing, providing the free training courses for digital transformations, provide the secure transactions to help the weaker transaction positions of those SME. They provide fund financings to the SME instead of the banks, because the banks has information asymmetric problems. Okay, if there is a potential small medium-sized enterprises, Alibaba also very happy and willing to invest the monies in these SMEs. So they are also doing helping through the investment banking businesses. Okay. Also, he helped the SMEs to build up their credit score. Everyone, once they are in the platform, they try to improve their credit score. So the credit score is also offer a kind of transparencies, okay, to external potential buyers. Okay. And it is also a way to help the SMEs. Okay, how Alibaba can group help the local SMEs? You know that in the phase 1 digital economy, we call it is a chain, okay, chain or pairwise relationship, okay, because like the TSMC, he built up the e-protocols with some collaborative companies, so they are chain relationship. But in the second digital economy, they become a platform one. In this platform, a lot of the firms, they are become the equal players. Okay, no matter you are big player or you are the small players, you are equally in these platforms. Okay, it largely help and turn the disadvantages of the SME in terms of their size. Okay, it help a lot once they have the equal access in the platforms. Okay. And also in the digital economy phase 1, okay, they digitalize it. But in the phase 2, okay, they have accumulate a lot of data. And this data calculations or data analytics through the data computings, okay, they can help the SMEs. As I said, SME, they don't have the enough manpower for business analytics or the environment analytics. They don't have the financial specialist doing the financial analytics. Okay, but those data, once you have a lot of the data collections through the cloud computing, the data will become very useful for the SMEs. Okay, armed with those the cloud computing data analysis. Okay, SME now they have the equal access, equal business intelligence as the big company they have. Okay, the important, I like to repeat it again. The data through the cloud computing, the SMEs, it is the first time they have the equal business intelligence as those the big multinational enterprises. Okay, so it is largely equalize the disadvantages of the SMEs. And also, in the previous digital economy phase 1, it is highly polarized, okay, because there is the very high entry threshold in terms of the software, in terms of the manpower, in terms of the hardware investments. Okay, the only few companies, they are able to work well in the digital economy, right? But actually, the Alibaba platform digital economy phase 2, they provide some kind of inclusive favors to every SMEs, okay, in the platforms. So from these viewpoints, the platform economies, they provide the data and the business intelligence, and also they are inclusive to a lot of the SMEs, okay, equalize the disadvantages of the SMEs, okay. So I feel the Alibaba and the other e-platform economies, they really do something very positive to China, particularly in China's rural provinces and rural counties, and they help the Chinese governments to eliminate the poverties in the remote regions. Okay, so this is something I learned when I was advisors in Alibaba.